Hey guys, I'm gonna make a quick video. I've been doing mentorship calls all day and I'm kind of burned out right now, so I'm not gonna do a whole weekly breakdown. But what I wanted to touch on today, because when I was doing mentorship, it came to me that many people still don't quite understand structure properly and what to expect from moves and how moves should potentially move. So I just wanted to cover that because, like I said, I just came up against it in one of the mentorship sessions that I did today. I just wanted to cover that. So again, we should by now understand the simple basics of basic uptrend, higher highs, higher lows, and lower lows, lower highs, all that kind of stuff. Vice versa for when trend does shift and break structure, etc. You should understand a very basic structure of this now. And then obviously when it comes to internal liquidity, then yeah, obviously this gets more advanced, but it's still the same principles, just adding more swings in the smaller picture compared to the bigger picture. So the bigger picture is always going to be the big swing highs to lows that actually do break structure or do something. And then between that, you're going to actually have the internals within that structure, and then you'll start moving to break new structure to create another external structure. So again, all these kind of things do play a part. They're very basic, very simple, but then it all plays a part into what we look at for our entry models and how we actually take trades and how we actually view trades. So all of this actually comes into fruition. So for example, gold today. Okay, actually, let's not even talk about today. We'll come back to today, but let's just talk about this structure through here. So understanding what needs to happen and structure around that is a very, very key thing. So for example, here again, these are the kind of things I go through with the teachings. So this structure right here, okay, and we're looking at it right now in 15 minutes. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, we're clearly in a big uptrend. Okay, as you can see, I've got this H1 POI that still hasn't been tapped in. So I'm still expecting price at some point to come back into this region, into this price, and then make another move, or maybe we might finally start making some moves to the downside. Who knows? Okay, but I still expect price to come back into this area since we've made a big new high, never rebalanced. Okay, we've done a very, very shallow retracement. Okay, if we're looking at this, we're looking literally at bang on 50%. Okay, which is a shallow retracement, and then we just went on from there. So I'm still expecting price to come back down to 89. It is Monday today. Understanding what typically happens on Mondays. Again, you guys have seen this time and time again. Okay, we should potentially rebalance the previous week's price action, which we haven't quite done yet. Tuesday make a low of the week. Okay, I don't think the low will be anywhere down here. But again, you can start seeing exactly what we start thinking should potentially happen for the week. So since then, we haven't actually had a rebalancing. So when we're looking at gold, we know we're continuously in an uptrend. We open up pricing today, taking our Asia session high. Obviously, there's nothing to the left because we are at all-time highs. So when we're looking at this on a subjective point of view, understanding that we could still come back down to this area here in due time, I'm just looking for any kind of breaks to the downside. But until then, I will continue trading structure to the upside. So when we're looking at this, when price did come in today, okay, we open up Asia. Okay, price does its thing. Okay, there was an aggressive entry that some of my community got into this morning. Okay, through here, boom, it goes up, creates a double high. Where have we seen that before? Okay, it happens all the time. Okay, we create a double high. So at this point, I'm thinking, cool. If we're going to create a double high, for sure, there's going to be one more move that takes this out, and then potentially we can start seeing price shift, break structure to then give us potential entries to come slightly lower. So I know one or two things will happen. We're either going to break this and continue moving up, as you can see, we clearly did. Okay, if I'm literally going into replay mode, just in this area, okay, so we can clearly see, cool. Once this does happen, I'm thinking for sure we should be able to get a trade from here to at least take out this high. And obviously, everything I do is always 10 to 1 if I can help it and see how far we get before structure does shift. So once we get this entry, again, you can see how it plays out. You already know what happened. So we take out this high. So at this point, I'm thinking, cool. Maybe we're going to get our signature entry now where price will do something like this, come down. Okay, we leave a gap there, then we get that, and then we start heading down. Okay, that's what I would love to see. That's naturally what we tend to see with pricing like this. So you can see I've put myself in a win-win situation because it's either going to keep going higher, okay, or if it does start breaking down again, we already done 3 to 1 protocols, or 3 to 1 protocols would be somewhere around here maybe, okay, where again take 50% partials and then keep things stepping from there. So one of those two things is going to happen, okay, and that's just based on just understanding the structure of all of this, okay. It's very, very simple just to say, cool, I want this to happen, I want this to happen, but is the structure aligned? Okay, the structure always has to be aligned with what you're looking at. So as much as I want price to drop down here, okay, nothing is going to happen until we break the structure. So I know minimum this high should be taken, and then potentially we'll see our next move to the downside. But until then, there's nothing to go by except for playing the game. So again, you can see if I wanted a third entry here, okay, that could have happened. Boom. Okay, and when does it happen? You can see in my yellow box, you already know what that means. Okay, New York, and the green box is London. So in New York, bang on time, literally at 2 o'clock, boom, New York trap time. Okay, not New York because New York is one, but New York trap time. Again, if you don't know what that means, don't worry about it. Okay, you buy the lit PDF, you understand what that means. Okay, so boom, New York, bang on 2 o'clock, New York trap time. And then now I'm thinking, cool, are we gonna now challenge this high right here? Okay, and as you can see, the price continues doing its things. Okay, we challenged that high just about. Okay, just about take it out there. And then you can see what price is doing now. And we're just kind of floating around this area. So now, what am I looking at based on structure to see if we can go to the downside? Okay, where was the latest point that we could potentially break structure? Through here. So now when I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, cool, if I want to sell off, I want price to break past here. So now we'll be looking at still the signature moves, looking at a situation like this. Okay, can we come down here, break structure, come up here, and then do something like that, and then we could go down. Okay, because we don't want to make no more new highs because we want the structure to break down here, right? If we want to sell. So when we start looking at this, again, what does that look like? Again, it's just basically this picture right here. Okay, sorry, wrong one. Okay, it's just this picture here where we want to break the structure, maybe create another equal low or something, come up, rebalance, and then break it. Okay, that's basically what we want to see happen time and time again. If we are to shift, again, it's just basics. Okay, understanding the basics, which I think people struggle to just keep hold of and just make a foundation. Make this your solid, strong foundation, and then you can start doing all the advanced stuff and looking into Wyckoff, looking into this, looking into that, and then trust me, you'll be able to catch better trades, more equipped trades, better informed trades, and more confidence in your trades. Again, very, very simple thing. When I showed this client this, and he was just like, wow, I knew about structure, but I just didn't consider these simple things and just taking myself back to basics. Okay, just understanding that, then mixing with something like this where you understand the structures, understand the timing. Let's just go to what picture do I want? Okay, understanding the timings, then you can start doing entry slaughters and understanding what the hell is going on everywhere. Okay, that's the level. Understand the basics to do the more complicated things. Okay, build that solid foundation, and then you can go from there. Another example from today, US 30. Okay, clean catch. Okay, so what happens again based on structure? What are we seeing here? Okay, it's just the same things over and over again, right? So what do we have? We have buy side liquidity from last week. Okay, price is opening up today. Okay, we have London. London doesn't do nothing. Okay, and then again, I'll go into the smaller time frame soon. And then 15 minute, you can see a clear price being broken above the top. Again, what does that look like? It's just the same thing over and over again, right? So boom, high, takes it out. Did we break structure to the downside? Did we come back up? Then we start going down. Yes, we see all of that again on a minuscule. Let's go into the 5 minute. Okay, we understand what's happening in the 15 now. So go to the 5 minute. Okay, we see the breaker structure. Okay, not breaker structure. We create equal lows here. Sorry. Okay, equal lows being created right here. Okay, we don't always have to break structure exactly. If we're either going to break structure or we're going to create equal lows, just like this picture. Okay, we're either going to break structure or we do both, or create equal lows, because every time we create equal lows, what do we know is being created? Okay, is a future target. So we know we create a future target, price comes back up. We have FVG through here. Okay, again, let me just mark this out. We have FVG plus the candle. So boom, there's your entry. Okay, through there. You've got your buy side liquidity being taken out. It didn't break structure, but we created a future target, and then bang on time again, 2 o'clock, New York trap time. Boom. Price hits. Then we start going. And again, as you already know, I always do the 10 to ones. Okay, so my 10 to ones are always going to be like that. So we came pretty close. Again, I've already done my 3 to 1 protocol. I've taken even more now because obviously it got late in the day and it doesn't look like our 10 to 1 to be hit, especially knowing that we had a big FVG through here. We've already filled 50% of that. Okay, already filled 50% of that. Also hitting the top of the body of this candle right here. So I know more than likely price is satisfied with that and can start going back up now. So that's why I've taken most off the table for this trade. Okay, understanding that simple thing, but obviously I always try to be as ambitious as possible. Try to do my 10 to 1. It doesn't always come up, but that's a good enough trade for me. Okay, so simple like that. Okay, that's that. Just understanding the simple structure that price has already done his Wyckoff accumulation through here, just to do what? Take up buy side liquidity, then we drop. We've now tapped into this demand candle, one or two things can happen now. We're either going to target sell side liquidity through here. Okay, liquidity sell side. Okay, we're either going to target the sell side liquidity through here, or what have we got above? Okay, another buy side liquidity. Price is always seeking liquidity. Okay, price is always seeking liquidity. Okay, one of these two things will happen. Okay, and then we'll continue moving with the structure of the intended direction. Okay, right now you can see we're cleaning up trend, haven't made no new lows yet. So buy side liquidity would be the next target. If we do take out sell side, we might do a little schematic, go back up, or just totally rebalance, coming back down to these kind of areas. So again, I'm not trying to fight price. I'm just going with it. Right now, price is telling me, again, go to the line chart, price is telling me that we're on a continuous uptrend. Okay, so now I'm looking for new places to bounce off and then make new highs. Okay, literally simple things like this. Simple things like this is what makes you money, not the most complicated Bollinger Bands and this RSI and I don't even know half of the indicators no more because I don't use none. I haven't used none for years. Okay, all of that kind of stuff is not what makes you the money. Yes, it can when you obviously looking at things from a perspective of understanding structure and all that kind of stuff, and you've got a solid strategy in place. Okay, yes, that stuff helps, but it's not what moves prices, not what makes you money like that. Okay, it just helps to give you better confluence. Okay, another one. Okay, GBPUSD from this morning. Okay, didn't quite do what I wanted it to do, but we're still potentially going to get a second entry. So again, after Asia, okay, market opened, we create liquidity both sides in Frankfurt, and then price in London takes it out, taps in into our POI from last week. Okay, quite a risky one because obviously we had equal highs, relatively equal highs above. So it taps in, break structure to the downside. I'm happy with that. It comes back up to fulfill this gap. Let's go on a 5 minute. Comes back up to fulfill this gap through here. Okay, taps in. It looks like it wants to start going down, but then we make another high. Boom, taps in, and then from there we actually truly break structure. So that's happening at the wrong time of the day, however. But what is it doing now? Okay, so quite late in the day, what do we do? Create triple highs. Okay, so now we've got the same situation, okay, that we did. Oops, wrong one. Okay, we've got the same situation as we did on the other trade. Okay, so now price you can see is floating above here. Okay, again, like I said, wrong time of the day. I would have loved this to happen in New York. Yeah, let's just say I would have loved this to happen in New York for it to start dropping down here, just go inside with the structure and then rebalance here and potentially even lower because we've got that H1. I think I brought that down last week. Okay, but now this is the trade where I'm thinking, cool, just rebalance here potentially and then go up. Or do you come down to the H1? Let me just go to the H1. Okay, give you what this means. So again, we've got liquidity here. Okay, big target. Okay, you got liquidity there, and then obviously we've got this H1 down here, also including the FVG. So this is why I've got this H1 marked out here. Again, it coincides with the 10 to 1 also. And again, what do we know tends to happen? Okay, so let's just say we did get this trade tomorrow. Okay, let's just make this bigger. Okay, let's just say we got this trade tomorrow, which is Tuesday. We should see our high or low of the week. Can this be our low of the week here? And then what do we want after that? Okay, what is structure telling me? We need to rebalance through there. Why do we need to rebalance through there? Okay, why is it not letting me delete that? Okay, why do we need to rebalance through there? Because again, structure is telling me we have just broken the structure to the downside. We haven't yet touched this H1. Potentially, okay, this is why I'm looking for a sell here to come up into here, or it might just leave that totally and just come up into this. So one of those two situations will happen. I'm always boxing up price. So once I see this, I know price needs to rebalance. Why? Because this was a previous low, price went above here, making a new higher high, okay, and then immediately making a new low. Again, if you're ever confused, line chart. Line chart will be your best friend. Is this lower than this? Yes, that's a breaker structure. Do we need a rebalancing? Yes. Is it going to happen right here? We don't know yet. How is it going to happen? We don't know. We could just plan for it. Okay, so now we know a rebalancing potentially over there should happen. Okay, so now this is why we can start planning. Wrong one. This is why we can start planning our trades accordingly. So now you know exactly why I've got to sell potentially from here down to this area. Okay, and I've also got this marked out for future because potentially in an ideal world, if I looked at this trade right now, I'm like, yeah, cool. I'd love to see something like this happen. Okay, give us our signature move. Boom. In an ideal world, I would love to see that happen. Okay, that's basically what you get from understanding structure thoroughly. It allows you to plan your trades in advance, and then you can start taking these types of trades. So I just wanted to cover those quickly because it shows structure, it shows entry techniques, it shows our signature moves, it shows why we look at everything we look at. Okay. And if you could do this consistently, it makes it very systematic in your trading where you can just set a sell limit, buy limit, and just keep it stepping from there to enjoy your day. Go gym, look after the kids, do what you're doing, stay with your girlfriend, your boyfriend, wherever you're doing, and you just literally just enjoy your day. Okay. Make things very, very simple for yourselves. So I hope that video has been helpful in some type of way. There'll be more videos coming soon. Right now, like I said, I'm not gonna lie, I'm hella tired. But there'll be more videos coming soon. And we'll be doing our weekly recaps again. So until next time, guys, take care.